up, guys? This is Bearded Rivals, and I'm Tar Heel Will, and this is
Wakama.
And we got a big week in UNC and Duke, okay? But first, please like and subscribe to this video. So we had a big week. We talked about the first game, the last episode. Now we're on game 2. Duke goes down. I felt like they're exposed. You know, this guy right here I still believe in them. I still believe that Duke can be who they are, but I think they got exposed in this one. What do you think?
I don't know if they got exposed. I think they got taught a lesson, and we know what we need to do now. There's a lot of things that went wrong, and we need to clean up on it. So one is getting the rebounds and loose balls. I think as long as we clean that up, Duke will be all right. We're good.
78-73. I mean,
not a big loss.
It wasn't like they blew you out by any means, but the game felt like they had it under control the entire game. Like, they would take a lead, y'all would crawl back. They would take a lead.
Well, there was only 2 lead changes, I believe, in the whole game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think Duke would get close, and they would go back again.
They led the whole first half. A few lucky shots on their end. Some of our shots wouldn't fall. It's the name of the game. That's the way it happens. But it is what it is. Duke will be all right. We learned a big lesson that game, and moving forward, it's on.
Being exposed. What I meant about being exposed was, I think everybody knows that Filipowski's going to get his 20, 25 points,
absolutely,
9 rebounds, whatever.
Yep.
But they just like, hey, we're going to put somebody on Filipowski. We're going to try to contain him. If we don't, we're going to let him get his points. And we're going to make everybody else play to their best every single night. And, Jeremy Roach, I think he can do it for the most part. But some of those freshmen, this is a big task for them to step up. But I feel like definitely Duke's not out. I think y'all play Michigan State next, which they're coming off a big loss too. So I think that's going to be
that one.
That's going to be a big game for both teams, because you don't want to go already 2 losses out of the first 3 games.
No, I don't think that's going to happen. I think we'll clean up a lot, and like I said, loose balls was our big misfall this past game. If we got those loose balls, it would be a completely different game.
Just not hustling?
I don't think it was just hustling. It wasn't going our way, I felt. You had one of them games.
Yeah, Caleb Love out there, the Duke killer.
Oh, Caleb Love.
What's it say? How many points does it say, Caleb?
Now you're going to be a big Caleb Love
fan. No, I'm not going to be like that. How many points does it say?
Caleb Love had points, 11 points.
Yeah, 11 points. That's a typical, in my opinion, Caleb Love game in a big-time game. Yeah, he's had games before where he's went off and scored a lot, but
he was 1 of 5 from 3-point land, which is what
he hit that half-court shot. Caleb Love killer.
A lucky half-court shot.
Now,
come on.
I'm glad that Caleb Love still loves Tar Heels, and I'm glad he wrote it on his shoe. But I'm not one of those fans that's going to be like, Caleb Love, because he plays for Arizona now. Did I want Arizona to win? Of course I did. I want Duke to lose every time I watch them. That's why I watch them half the time. It did. It happened Saturday. Was it Saturday? Yeah, Saturday. Friday. Yeah, good way to start the weekend too. Coming off a root canal, so I didn't have much to do. So, but watch Duke lose. So that was a big.
Congratulations.
Again, I don't think Duke's out. I think Arizona they moved up to number 2 or 3 now.
Arizona is now.
I think they had them at 3, I believe.
I think it was 3.
Yeah. So, and Duke moved down, dropped down to 9.
We're down to 9. And then, what do you think about Carolina dropping? They didn't play. They haven't played anybody good, but everybody's like, Duke's playing the best that we are. We ain't going to challenge, but you always play these games in the beginning of the season, and you get beat. That's how it typically happens.
So,
it's all right.
Yeah, it's cool that you always challenge the big dog.
And we win national championships. John Scheyer, second year national championship.
It's good that you challenge the big dog, but, you can't you can't rumble with them. Like, you're like, yeah, we'll play them. We're going to get beat, but we'll play these dudes. So, yeah, whatever. But I think that, yeah, y'all going to be fine. Y'all going to have your run. Carolina, they played, what was the first game they played? I can't remember. We talked about last time. But then we just played Lehigh. They played Lehigh like I expected them to play. But one thing I did notice is they're moving the ball better. They are passing. They actually look like they want to play with each other. Hubert Davis is bringing in a lot of different rotations and lineups that are doing well. It still might be early, but in my opinion, with scheyerkyle, he hasn't impressed me too much. Yeah, like he's supposed to be doing. I mean, for somebody to say, I already tell you I'm coming in for 1 year and I'm done. Like, to me,
that's big talk.
You got to come in and do something.
You better do something.
He hasn't started yet, but it's the first 2 games. Yeah, the first game he broke the record for a freshman for assists, but he's an assist person, so I expected that.
He needs to score.
But I feel like he is going to eventually be in the starting lineup.
Yep, he'll probably get in rotation.
I feel like he's going to step it up, but they did normal against Lehigh, what I expected. They fed it down to Armando. If that didn't work, they kicked it out. The difference is we have some guys that actually can knock down the three. We got what's his name? K-Mac Ryan.
The big white guy.
He's shooting it down. Then we got the new guy.
When did y'all play? Friday?
What's the new guy from Stanford? I can't remember his name right now. You'll play Friday. But we got these guys coming in, knocking down the shots. I just went blank. Look up the roster real quick. But we got these guys coming in. I think they're moving the ball inside. They're moving the ball and kicking it out when they have the opportunities, and they're just knocking down the threes. So,
did y'all play Friday?
Yeah, we'll play Friday, but don't worry about it. I went blank on the guy's name. He's the guy from Stanford. But he's doing well. I think he gets a lot of control, but first 2 games, we're still undefeated, so
that's fine. Against nobody.
But we dropped
nobody.
We've dropped in the rankings. That's fine.
The coaches poll realized that.
Everybody realized it, but that's cool. We're exactly where we want to be. So,
I think UNC will be just fine. I think Duke's going to be fine. It's still going to be your typical rivalry every year, same thing.
But honestly, I'm liking what I'm seeing from this team because it does look like they're playing together. And I'm not going to say it's because of Caleb Love either, because there were a lot of things that happened last year that was in play.
Yeah.
But also, to change topic a little bit, football. UNC just put the smack down on that.
There too,
double overtime. I will admit I didn't watch anything in that game, but I did see the highlights, and I know it came down to overtime. Drake May just does it again, but there was an interception that could have went the other way.
Yeah,
I think that was a big
some
so I will
speculations.
Admit, I didn't get that, but now we're gonna move on to some different news, some sports card news, since we do own a sports card business, Tar Heel Wheels Sports Card and Collectibles. Big thing popped out today. So in Prism Draft Picks, someone got a big hit, a Wemby 1-of-1 Nebula. But the only thing was that hit was in the wrong product, because there's a Draft Picks choice that this 1-of-1 Nebula was supposed to be in, and Panini put the wrong hit in the wrong product.
Not good, Panini.
Definitely not good with what's going on with Fanatics. And what about all these people who pre-ordered these cases and spent thousands and thousands of dollars to try to get that card, and now someone gets it in a break?
Well, it changes that whole, people aren't going to pay as much for those cases or boxes.
Yeah, basically. These people lose money. So but the people who bought the case, do they have a right to say, I want my refund now?
I don't know a full refund.
Maybe not a full refund.
They're going to have to drop the price.
Yeah.
Dramatically and probably refund some money.
I know there's still some good cards in those boxes.
Absolutely. Good autos,
but that 1-on-1 Wemby, that's why everybody's...
That's the one chaser that everybody
wants.
That
black 1-on-1 Nebula Wemby.
That's it. That's what you buy the box for.
That's big time.
That's what you buy the case for.
Now, the guy who got that card, there's lucky.
Oh, God. He's happy.
From that article we read that I showed you earlier, it said, was like $20,000 card?
Yeah.
That was a $20,000 mistake.
20 grand.
At least 20. No way. That's way more than $20,000.
Oh, I'm sure.
Someone just got $20,000 by complete luck. That company, Panini, is about to lose a lot of money because they're going to have to refund.
And it was in a hobby. It was Panini hobby.
It was the draft picks hobby.
Yep.
And it's supposed to be in the draft picks choice. and I don't even think choice is out yet.
No, it's
not. It hasn't even been released. It's coming out soon, but it hasn't been released. So that's a big time mistake. Okay, so
what do they do to fix that mistake? So that's the big question.
What do you do?
That's the big question.
You give back.
I don't know what I do.
You give a refund, or you give those cases at
or you just congratulate them. You found the rarest card out of.
Well, the people who bought the cases are probably blowing these people.
Does it make that card worth even more now?
Probably. But
I don't know.
Just think, you paid what? Let's just say $3,000 for a case.
Mm-hmm.
I want that case for $1,500 now.
Yeah, give me some money back.
They're gonna have to cut that in half, probably.
Give me some money back.
They're about to lose a lot of money.
Yeah.
So that's kind of some card news today that popped off. We have hit the Wemby auto out of Bowman U, so we've sent that off for grading, and we saw the other day that the card itself sold for $3,000.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get a Gem Mint 10.
Get it
9 at the worst.
That'd be nice.
I'm hoping to get a 10 because it was really centered. I didn't touch it with my hands when I got it back from Redemption from Topps. So whoever handled that card at Topps, I hope they did a good job for me.
Well, if you get a 10, I think that card will be about $5 or $6K.
Now we're gonna move on to Panthers football. Carolina Panthers.
Oh God, let's not talk about the Panthers.
As a Panther fan, it's sad. I do see transition, and like Herbstreit said the other day, the Panthers are in a situation where they're changing their offense to a college-style offense, spread-type offense, so Bryce Young can be in that type of offense because that's what he's used to. But the personnel they have doesn't match that yet. So they're in that transition where they're trying to take these guys that are used to this type of line, plays, whatever, and they don't know how to play this spread offense as a lineman. So they're used to run and gun, pound it down the middle, whatever, being tough like that. So I do see that. I'm not giving up on Bryce Young yet. I feel like coming into the NFL, you have to be behind somebody.
I think Bryce Young will be all right. It's the line that's messing us up.
Well, also everybody thinks nowadays, number 1 pick, you got to come in, you got to be the starter and win us a Super Bowl or take us to the playoffs. Now, that's way too much pressure on 19, 20-year-old kid, 21-year-old, 22-year-old kid. There's a lot of pressure to say, hey, you're going to be in this organization that's $1 billion or whatever, and we want you to be the man. That's a lot of pressure to take. Yeah, can Bryce Young do it? Yeah. But we got to get past making these rookie quarterbacks come in here and do all this stuff in the first year. Brady was behind Bledsoe. Aaron Rodgers was behind Brett Favre. Steve Young was behind Joe Montana. Like, every great quarterback that we grew up watching was behind a great for a couple years.
That's right. Yep.
Like, Aaron Rodgers didn't play for the first 2-3 seasons of his career, I think.
That's right.
So that they had to pretty much push Favre out to get him to play.
Yep.
So I don't know. I just think we got to get past that. We got to let these quarterbacks come in and be behind somebody and learn instead of here you go, boom, get back out there and you got to win.
Yeah, well, Bryce will be all right. I don't know if he's going to be all right for the Carolina Panthers.
I think that he's going to be he's going to be at the Panthers for at least 5 seasons.
Maybe. I mean, I hope you're right. I like him. They just have to build.
They
have to build around him.
Yeah,
and I don't know.
Well, that's what they're going to do. But I'm telling
you,
5 seasons. If he makes it to season 5, he'll be there for 10 seasons.
I'm going to give it 3. I think. We'll
write it down here. If he makes it to season 5, he'll be there for 10 seasons.
I don't think he makes it that long.
I mean, the chances are no.
I don't think he makes it
unless he goes in there and takes us to a playoff.
I hope he does.
But I think he has.
I like him.
I think he has. But you got to think, this guy never lost at any level
until he got to the
Panthers. And even when he had hard games in college, he knew I can score myself.
Right.
He can't do that here.
Yeah.
So this guy's going through a whole coming to Jesus meeting with himself, like, dang, I got to figure out.
It's a whole new ball game.
I'm not used to losing, so I got to figure something out. And I feel like he is going to do that. I think he's fine. I think that Frank Wright and the Panthers are going to bring in some people in the offseason. They better. I don't see how you don't, as a Panthers organization, go out there and actually trade for or draft all linemen. I mean,
you got to protect Bryce.
I get that you're not going to do that, but how do you not do it? As a fan from day one, we've had a terrible offensive line since Jake DeLong.
Yeah.
And we never fixed it. We've patched it up and put Band-Aids throughout the years, but our line never was consistent for more than 2 seasons in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to fix that on that end. Well, guys, we're back. We don't know what happened to the camera. We don't know how long it was messed up, so we're back. But I know we were talking about Panthers football. So, do you think that they made a mistake by drafting Bryce Young and should have went C.J. Stroud with the way C.J. Stroud's doing?
I don't think they made a mistake. I kind of wish we would have gone for C.J. instead. I think he would fit the Panthers better than Bryce.
But my thing is, I don't care if you put Tom Brady back there. If our offensive line is doing this.
And that's I was about to go there too.
It don't matter who you put back there. C.J. Stroud could be having the same type of season.
And he probably still would because our line can't.
So I'm definitely not going to be one of them ones that is C.J. Stroud, we don't know because he's not behind the line. So
that's right.
But guys, that's it for today. Please like and subscribe our video and look for further videos later on.
Go follow Bearded Rivals.
Bearded Rivals, yes. And go Tar Heels.
Go Duke.